Between now and Selection Sunday on March 13th, there are still tons of regular season college basketball action to go. Plus, all of the conference tournaments and WagerTalk and Sports Memo are announcing their March Madness Bonanza special, which includes the rest of college basketball regular season, conference tournaments, NCAA tournament through the national championship, and any plays released in the NIT or CBI tournaments. Sign up for this promotion now at your favorite handicappers homepage and get the rest of the college basketball season through the national championship on Monday, April 4th for just $177. That's under $5 a day for one of the best betting experience in sports. Act fast as the March Madness Bonanza special is only available for a limited time.
Hey guys, welcome in and a very happy Thursday to you here as it's all about the hardwood here this week. A lot of college hoops taking place and just 2 games tonight in the association, but you could not ask for 2 better games on this Thursday night than the ones we got. We're going to break them both down for you, and we're going to do it, of course, with our Thursday crew. We got some of the best here for you guys. Look at this. Ski Prophet in the top of the house. He is ready to go. Long Beach State. He'll be rooting them on. We also have Teddy Covers in the house as well as Rob Vino back in action here today. Gentlemen, happy Thursday to you. Ski shooters are going to shoot, man. It's what we do. Talk to us about what you got tonight here moving forward in the association or any place else at WagerTalk.com.
Yeah, shooter's going to shoot. And unfortunately, yesterday there's a lot of air balls and not a lot of good shots. So 6-12 in the association yesterday, went backwards. As far as what I've been tracking since November 5th, which is about 2 weeks into the season, 323 wins, 244 losses, 56.9%, and that's 567 plays. So I'll try to bounce back today. So far, I think I found 6 ways to bet these 2 games, so I'm in action.
Atta boy, Ski shooters are going to shoot here. That's what I am talking about. Talk to me here, Teddy. You've got it's a couple of interesting spots here on the board. Do you have any college hoops, any NBA? What do you got here tonight?
Yeah, unfortunately, I am not going to be in action for the NBA tonight, so the 12-2 run is going to have to hold until tomorrow. I got one opinion. Ski's got 6. I got 1. I'll give you the one that I got before we're through. But I am locked and loaded, obviously, with conference tournaments in play. 3 plays available for this evening in college hoops. Get them the 3-pack. Bargain price over at WagerTalk and or sportsmemo.com.
Anyone happen to have the Houston Rockets last night? Okay, well, then I'm sure we'll have something to say about that moving forward. Rob Vino, what is going on, Rob? Tonight, I know you got a lot. We've got, of course, college hoops, NBA, 2 games here tonight. What do you got in action for us?
Yeah, I'm involved in one of the NBA games here. Obviously, we only have 2 to talk about, so we'll be talking about that one. Since the break, up about 20% return on investment since the break, so it's been good. Last night was not especially good. Like Ski, I had some crooked shots going up last night. I think 1 and 3 in the NBA last night. So we'll look to get on the right track here this evening. But it really has been a pretty good run since they've come back after the All-Star break.
Well, guys, bottom line is those 3-day, 7-day, 30-day all-access packages, you never got to worry about missing a play from these guys. You can get those right now at their pages at WagerTalk.com. We are going to start in the East for tonight with matchup number 1, and it's a good one. Brooklyn Nets taking on the Philadelphia 76ers with the Kardashians in-house. Boy, oh boy, Simmons will not be dressed, but he will be in attendance on the bench here for the Nets, who opened up as a 4.5-point dog in this one. 229.5 as a opening number. We've seen that number crawl up here just a little bit as well. Well, more than a little bit. So what are we going to do here, Ski? Game number 1 tonight, Sixers, Nets. How you looking at this one?
Well, my initial thought yesterday was to bet the over. And I woke up this morning and I thought, I'm way too late. I should just bet it yesterday when I was thinking about it. So I was trying to find other ways to bet the game. I landed on, I can't see what it is right now, but I landed on Sixers team total at 119.5. I know it opened at 117 or 117.5, but I think it's still at a good number. Sixers have hit this every single game that James Harden has played. And as far as the Nets, last 2 weeks, they're allowing 122 points per game. They've allowed teams to go over this number 5 of their last 7 games. So I like it, especially tonight. And I'm expecting a lot out of Harden. I mean, you've seen in games like the first game he played as a Sixer, games where he has huge motivation, he usually shows up. Like in over his 2.5 threes. Post All-Star Brooklyn is 27th defending the three. I like that tonight. And I like over his points. I think it's pretty low at 24.5. He's hit that, I think, more times than not as a Sixer. And in a game like this, I'm just going to go ahead and bet on him. I'm rolling with all those guys tonight.
All right. I'm seeing 120 as a team total for the Sixers and 115.5 for the Brooklyn Nets here tonight, guys, in what should be an extremely interesting game. And Teddy, what are you thinking here? We saw the total explode. The side, not so much. It remains steady here. What do you think about this game tonight?
Yeah, so, I mean, I love betting the NBA when everyone's attention is focused on college hoops. And that's going to be the case for the next couple of weeks because you're going to see a lot of these games. They might get hit early, they might get hit late, but the betting attention for the association gets diluted over the course of the next couple of weeks. And sometimes you can find some really good streaks to ride, whether it's player props, whether it's teams, whether it's totals, whatever it is. So this is a good time to be involved in the association. The reason I bring that up is just because when Ski Prophet was talking about the team total, he got 119.5. All right. You can still find a 119.5. You can also bet over 120. You can also bet over 120.5. There's some line variance there. And the ability to get the best of the number this time of the year, it's just magnified. These lines are tight. In terms of this game, from a side perspective, boy, I'm not in any rush to step in front of either one of the two teams. I think Brooklyn is a team we're likely to be able to make money with. The sense of urgency is there. You read the quotes coming out of the Nets locker room, and they're going to show up, night in, night out. They just snapped the skid in Charlotte the other night. And certainly with KD back on the floor, I've got a buy sign on the Nets right now. I think you'll make more money betting on Brooklyn than you will betting against them over the course of the next week or two. That said, I'm in no rush to step in front of Philly and the short favorite, especially in a game like this, where, Ben Simmons is getting booed in the hotel. This is the type of these two teams. The only team I trust to get a stop during crunch time is Philly. Philly can play defense, Brooklyn can. A tight game, that's likely to matter down the stretch. And it also concerns me betting this over. We're talking about the over. I don't know if I love this over right here, just because if Philly brings it defensively, Brooklyn ain't going nowhere. The Sixers are going to cover, and the game's going to stay under. If you like the Nets, I think there is some correlation between Brooklyn and over. I don't see any correlation between Philly. There's my 2 cents on a game.
I got to ask you there, Rob Vino, because I think games that Harden has actually been available in, they're now 5-0. And it's interesting because the guys around him seem to have elevated their game to a certain degree, or maybe a little less attention focused to them. So how do you approach this game tonight? Does he make it 6-0 in games he started for the Sixers?
Well, if he doesn't, Philadelphia's got a big problem down the road. I mean, if they don't win this game, guys, I think that's a huge indictment of Philadelphia going forward in the playoffs. If they lose tonight on their home floor, in this situation where Ben Simmons is not on the floor to defend James Harden, then they better pray to God that they don't draw the Nets in the playoffs or somebody else knocks the Nets out of the playoffs for them. So this is all about Philadelphia tonight. And, being in this town, guys, the fandom in this place is berserk. But to the fans, it's more about just going there and being able to throw crap at Ben Simmons than it is to watch the game. So it's an interesting night, more of a soap opera type night than it is the game. But if you look directly at the game again, Ski mentioned James Harden props. This should be a huge night for James Harden. He can't be guarded by anybody on the floor now. 2 months from now, it'll be a different story if they meet, because I would imagine Nash puts Simmons on Harden, and whatever he can do against him, it'll be less than what he does tonight. I think that I'm going to take, just because Ski talked a lot about Philly props, we'll talk about Brooklyn props for a second. I don't see how this isn't a Kevin Durant night. I saw total rebounds, points, assists at 41.5, which to me seems incredibly outrageous. I don't know that these guys are going to take turns, but 2 games ago, Durant had a monster game and Kyrie was bad in Boston. Then last game, Kyrie came back with 50 points and Durant kind of took a back seat. I don't think either of them takes a back seat here, although I would definitely shade Durant. If you're playing props, you should be on Kevin Durant in more than one way, much the way Ski talked about James Harden. I think if you're looking for guys down the list a little bit, Tyrese Maxey's points are somewhere around 17.5. I think he's probably worth it. And if you're Philadelphia, if we're just using some foresight into the future here, if you have a future ticket on the Sixers, you really want to see what you get tonight in a game of this magnitude out of George Niang, out of Danny Green, out of Shake Milton, the guys that are going to need to make the difference in the playoffs, and especially out of Tobias Harris, who's been the forgotten piece. To me, I think if you play the game, I'd prefer to play the Nets, to tell you the truth. I think they can keep pace. I'll say this, where the total is concerned, there's no other way to play it except for over. The last 2 games, when the Nets have had Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving on the floor at the same time, Boston and Charlotte were the opponents. Of all the points that were available in the game, those 2 games scored 53.5 points and 53.5% of the points and 53% of the points. More than half the points that are available are being scored in Brooklyn Nets games right now. Great offense, lousy defense. Got to play total in some way, shape, or form here, Joe. First quarter, first half, full game. You like to do that kinky stuff and play third quarter. Maybe third quarter looks good to you.
Yep. Yeah, you know that. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Bring out the chicken. All right, so here's what we got, guys. We got a Brooklyn Sixers matchup in the East that, in all likelihood, we may see down the road. Well, we got one over in the West, too, that no doubt we might see eventually down the road, with the Denver Nuggets taking on the Golden State Warriors in an intriguing matchup. Denver off of that win last night against Sacramento. Golden State a little rested here, 220.5 as a opening number. How about 228.5 now is what I am seeing. Two's pretty much prevalent throughout. That's what Golden State will be laying here tonight in Denver. Ski, you are all about the rest, my man. Well, talk to me. Who you like? Is it Golden State or not for you in this one? How are you going to approach it?
I don't really like Golden State on the road. I didn't focus too much on the side in this game. I do want to mention, I forgot to say, I like Seth Curry over his 11.5 points. I think he's averaging 15 points per game since he got traded. And I also like his brother, Steph Curry, in this game, over 24.5 points. Denver's been poor versus the point guard position. I know the last 10 they're allowing a little bit under 24 points per game. Steph's last 3 games in Denver, he scored 30 plus. So I just think it's a situation where he gets to go and he gets over his prop number. Another play I like here is the first half. I bet it over 116.5. I know last I saw it's got up to 118, but Golden State first halves, last 10, 11 games have been more in the 120 range. So I look at that, and I also look at Denver. Denver's the second best first half over team in the league, and it pretty much just depends on if the other team can go with them, if they're playing a good offense. And if you ask me if Golden State's a good offense, I'm going to say definitely. So I like the first half over, and I like Steph Curry over his points prop tonight.
Yeah, ain't mad at you. Love that angle. How about you, Teddy? It's an interesting spot for this Golden State team. Can they right the ship, so to speak, a little bit here in Denver tonight?
Well, I think this is a good quote for the over that Ski was just talking about. Quote, this is from Klay Thompson, talking about what Golden State's trying to do right now. Well, come playoff time, but not even then. For these last 16 games, we've just got to create great habits. When it comes to playoffs, a possession battle. We can't have any empty possessions. We've got to at least get a shot up, get some ball movement, get some great ball movement, be on a string together defensively. I'm really excited for the future. This is going to be a great year. I can just feel it, blah, blah, blah. There's a sense of urgency right now in Golden State on the offensive side of the ball. They've had their first struggle. Remember, this team started 27-6. They were 27-6 after they beat the Suns on Christmas Day. And they're 17-16 since. They've been a 500 team for more than 2 months right now. And obviously, much of that correlates with Draymond Green being hurt. But Golden State's been fairly mediocre for an extended stretch of time. And the markets haven't really flipped on the Warriors. That's why they've been a good team to bet against in recent weeks. That being said, talk about the rest standpoint. Well, here's Denver, 4th game in 5 nights. And one of those games went to overtime. Another one last night came right down to the wire in Sacramento. Now, Mike Malone did use his bench liberally in that contest for a team playing on the 4th and 5 with an OT game in the mix, playing the second of back-to-backs. You know, when you see the minute totals, 35 for Jokic, 33 for Gordon, 32 for Rivers, a deep bench rotation from Malone last night, gives you the thought that maybe Denver might not be completely exhausted here, but I'm not very interested in backing the team 4th and 5, especially given that the Nuggets won all 3 meetings against the Warriors this season, and Golden State's coming with some urgency. So the lean here is towards Golden State as road chalk in the mile-high air.
Yeah, loving that urgency. Well, Rob, you said in that first game there, Brooklyn, Philly, you want to you're going to figure out some way to get a total in there. What about in this game? Same situation?
Well, I could have been right there first thing this morning with Ski on first half over until I checked Denver's last 11 games and saw that they're 9-2 to the under in their last 11. Now, you know, granted, some of them are against poor offenses, as Ski mentioned. A lot of times you got to dig a little deeper than just the sheer numbers to figure out where you want to be, where you want to land as far as a bet is concerned. But I still would probably shade over because both of these guys ahead of me listed about 10 other reasons aside from Denver being 9-2 under in the first half to be on the over. So, you know, the good outweighs the bad in that instance. I love that quote by Teddy. Let me get off the rails here for a second. I got news for Klay Thompson talking about great habits, empty possessions. I got news for him. Let Jordan Poole play and Klay Thompson stop shooting the basketball. You stink. That guy is from 3-point land in his last 6 games, 12 of 44, 27.2%. They force-fed him the ball against the Clippers the other night. He took 23 shots, guys. If it wasn't a dunk or a layup, he wasn't making it. Nothing from beyond the arc. In that particular game, he was 2 of 9. He's at a 3 of 10 in this stretch. He's just been absolutely miserable, while Jordan Poole has been the guy that's absolutely been on fire. Shooting guard, let me see more Jordan Poole if I have overs, and less of Klay Thompson and less of his mouth about empty possessions, because he's the ultimate empty possession at this point in time. I think Denver, their lack of defense plus the fatigue leads to a big scoring night for Golden State, for sure. I think they should be able to handle that. And Steph, guys, I don't know if you watched the game the other night, but Steph Curry was really weird the other night. Like, he would just run into the corner and put his hands on his knees and stand there during offensive possessions, way more than once. Like, he was a decoy. I think back to a game between Davidson and Loyola of Maryland when he just ran to the corner because they were triple teaming him and acted as a decoy. He wasn't really involved, and he still had decent numbers. If he's involved tonight, I don't think there's any question he puts up big numbers. There's enough pieces for Golden State against a tired defense to score here. So I think, Joe, I'd probably still find a way to play over. But the value's all gone, right? So playing game total is maybe too far gone to get there. Maybe first half, as Ski suggested, try and ignore the 9-2 Denver unders last 11 and still get there with the over.
All right, good stuff there, guys. Two very good games
Real quick,
tonight
Joe.
on tap. Oh, go ahead, Ski.
I'm pretty sure, not 100% sure, maybe like 90% sure. Golden State is 9-2 to the over their last 10, so we can go head to head with that. That's
all right. I like it.
I
like it. Yeah.
You get a conflicting number like that, you
Yeah.
sprinkle the dust on it. There you go.
Got a little dust going on, got a little sprinkle, a little something going on there. I love it. All right, so we got competing theories, competing handicaps, and should be an interesting night across the board here, guys, with these two games. So we will see if there is maybe just one play out of both of these games these guys like a little bit more than the others. So, Ski, I won't even put 60 seconds on the clock. To hell with it. Just tell me which one of these games here tonight, give me a play you like a little bit more than the rest.
Okay. I don't know if we're allowed to mention books, so I won't mention any books. But there's a play kind of putting all the bets that I like together a little bit here. And it is Harden to make 5 or more threes, Philadelphia to win, and Philadelphia's team total to go over 119.5, and it's plus 975. So looking at this so far, Harden's done this once as a net, once as a Sixer. The time as a Sixer was, the debut where he had a lot of motivation to perform well and show everybody what he can do. I talked about the Nets' poor 3-point defense, 27 since the All-Star break. Harden is shooting 44.8% from three. Sixers, like I mentioned, they scored 120 plus points every single game that Harden has played. I talked about the Nets defense allowing 122 points the last 2 weeks. 5 of their last 7 opponents have gone over 120 points. And what Rob Vino said, like, who's the most pressure on in this game? I think it's 100% the Sixers. Like, the Nets don't even have Ben Simmons right now. The Sixers have to win this game tonight, and they're expected to win championships this year and next year. So between all that and who stops Embiid, I think the Sixers also get the win tonight. So Harden, 5 plus threes, Philadelphia to win, Philly team total over 119.5, plus 975.
All right, bunch of different ways to be able to approach this game. Holy shit! Damn, Miami just pulled one out in the last second. Thank you, the U. Teddy, talk to us here. Which one of these games might you be? It's unbelievable too. Wait till you see the replay. Which one of these games might you be looking at there, Teddy?
Yeah. The focus level isn't quite where it should be, perhaps. We got all the TVs going at the same time. But I'm going to look at Golden State as a short road chalk in Denver here. And the concept's real simple. It's the Nuggets team that's playing their 4th and 5. Golden State just played there. These two teams just played, but the Warriors didn't play anyone in that game. Or was that on Monday?
Mm-hmm.
It feels like it wasn't long ago. And Denver's beaten Golden State in all 3 meetings this year. I think the Warriors take this game fairly seriously. And Denver's, who's going to play for the Nuggets? Najee's questionable, Highland's questionable, Green, Barton, all iffy for tonight. Aaron Gordon's likely to play, but playing 4th and 5, if some team's going to be sitting someone between now and tip-off, likely to be on the Denver side. Looking at Golden State minus the short road chalk.
Oh, I love it. All right, Golden State to get it done in Denver. Rob, I'm feeling just give me the over every which way possible. But go ahead. Which one of these games might you be looking at?
It's hard to debate that, Joe. Although,
I know.
At this point in the day, if we're betting over, we are. You could play the Tony Finn clip anytime you want. We're betting into 6.5 and 8.5 point line moves on totals. So taking it now isn't as good as it was taking things earlier in the day. I'm going to go back to what I said earlier, and I'm not a guy who plays a lot of props, but to me, the Kevin Durant prop sticks out like a sore thumb. Over 41.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He had 51 combined against Boston, where he had somebody to match up with him in Jason Tatum. They got involved in a shootout. There's nobody on Philadelphia to guard these stretch 4s. I talked about it the other day. They just don't have it. Tobias Harris is going to be the guy. Maybe they try Matisse Thybulle, who's too small. But Durant, point, rebounds, and assists over 41.5 to me is probably the best bet of the night.
Yeah, and he would have actually hit it in the last game if Kyrie didn't want to just go off and have to drop 50 himself. Way to go, Kyrie, screwing it up for everybody. There you got it here, guys. Two fantastic games here tonight. You got Ski, who's already telling you here as we look at the recap quickly for his best bets. He's got Harden over 4.5 3-pointers and the 76ers money line. Love that. Plus, if you throw the team total over 119.5, you put it all together and you got yourself almost 10-1. Very good. Very nice there. Teddy, in the meantime, is going Warriors as a short road favorite here tonight against a team fourth game in 5. That's rough, but he's going to go Warriors. While Rob, he likes Durant's prop here, and I can't argue with it too. I like it as well. Durant over the 41.5 points, rebounds, and assists, and it's going to be a fun night here, guys, with just 2 NBA games, a boatload of conference tournament games underway, and a bit of good news, too, as we just learned that Major League Baseball, they've come to an agreement. They smoked the peace pipe, they liked what they saw, and voila, baseball will be here before you know it. And so will we. We'll be back again tomorrow, guys, a loaded NBA card. Big weekend ahead of us, obviously, in college hoops. And certainly hope that you'll hit that bell in the upper right-hand corner and come back and join us. In the meantime, best bets for Ski, for Teddy, and for Rob Vino. Locked and loaded tonight. College hoops, NBA. Go grab now over at WagerTalk.com. Until then, though, Ski, Teddy, Rob, best of luck with your plays here tonight, guys. We'll be back again tomorrow. We'll see you then. Good luck.
Between now and Selection Sunday on March 13th, there are still tons of regular season college basketball action to go. Plus, all of the conference tournaments and WagerTalk and Sports Memo are announcing their March Madness Bonanza special, which includes the rest of college basketball regular season, conference tournaments, NCAA tournament through the national championship, and any plays released in the NIT or CBI tournaments. Sign up for this promotion now at your favorite handicappers homepage and get the rest of the college basketball season through the national championship on Monday, April 4th for just $177. That's under $5 a day for one of the best betting experience in sports. Act fast as the March Madness Bonanza special is only available for a limited time.